So last night, the newest episode of Young Justice Phantoms came out, and I gotta say, this was probably this season, I should say, was probably one of the best pieces of animated media I have seen in a long time. Invincible, I'd put as my current favorite animated media piece, closely followed by anything Scooby Doo related, and then even more closely followed by anything like Star Wars animation. Pretty much anything with Star Wars animation is my favorite, but I think that uh, Young Justice Phantoms is easily a top five piece of animation of all time. We still haven't gotten to see the big bad, which I don't know if how many people have watched the season three or season one or season two. Uh, but it's Darkseid, obviously, it because Young Justice is a DC show that is just great, and I love it. This season was awesome. I think if season five comes out, because the show is currently in animation limbo, so we don't actually know if there's going to be a fifth season, but based off of the post-credit scene that they had for the series or the season finale, I would assume that they are planning on trying to have a post or a season five. They're just putting it in limbo right now, but yeah, it is actually pretty insane. uh so without getting too deep into spoilers, the entire plot of the the show this season was two of the main characters are getting married, and then out of nowhere, one of them dies trying to save a planet. He explodes, dies, and then they wake up and he's in like basically limbo, which is the joint between um, hell and heaven, and he's there. And then they have like this entire new god system that they're coming out with that they have to try and figure out who's cool and who's evil. And then they have just like a bunch of other things happening, all while the bad new gods are trying to fight the good new gods. And they have a character named Bear that keeps making an appearance, who's you might remember from season one if you've watched the show. I don't. It's just a lot. It's a lot of crazy stuff. They end up using old characters and new characters really well. They bring back a couple fan favorites that me and a bunch of my buddies who watch this show were freaking out about. They use a very good storyline with Nightwing, who's Dick Grayson, who was the original Robin, before Tim Drake and Damian Wayne took over as Robin. It was just really cool, and I was very happy with how the show went. They also touch a little bit on Brion, who in the end of the last season took over an entire country as king and murdered a shit ton of people because he wanted everyone to be happy, and a bunch of I guess metahumans wanted metahumans to be gone, so he just murdered a fuck ton of people. Uh, yeah, basically that they explain what's happening with him and how he's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool, and the new Justice League is awesome too. I really enjoy the new characters that they added. Um, I'm trying to think of if I can name any without like spoilers. I will say this because this isn't really spoilers. They bring another form of Forager in, and for those of you who don't know, Forager is an alien who he's basically just a big ass beetle that can roll into a ball, and he's like Cannonbolt from Ben 10. Pretty lame, but he also is fucking annoying because he constantly says Forager and speaks in third person, and it makes me want to actually commit fucking Roblox attack. It's so frustrating. I hate when Forager's on screen. He is so goddamn annoying. Uh, so they had a second one, and they constantly call each other Forager, and it pisses me off, and I want to like bash my face into the wall because I just can't stand hearing that over and over and over again. But yeah, this season was actually fantastic, and I'm very very impressed. I am convinced that if we had the animation crew, like just the crew who did like the storylines and all that from Young Justice, take the DCEU as we have it now, completely destroy it, get rid of it, throw it away, and take the Young Justice crew and have them make the DCEU that the show, the movies, whatever we like want DC to make would be good. Like get rid of Warner Bros. Warner Bros. Sucks. They're garbage. They can't make a movie. Uh, they fired Zack Snyder because after a bunch of whatever reasons, and he made uh what's it called? It's Batman v Superman, one of the worst movies of all time, and then he followed it up with a fantastic uh, Justice League Snyder cut, which everyone loved, including myself. I watched it like four times in the first month it came out because I loved it so much. It was so good. But if we have this crew do the DCEU, it would actually be good. Like we could still keep a lot of the same actors and actresses, and I'm convinced that the DCEU would be like fantastic. That being said, it's I don't know how deep to go into it. I like if I had some complaints, Forger, number one, I hate the dude. I hate his wife too, or his new girlfriend. She sucks. Um, they also have Miss Martian, who was really annoying in the first season. My girlfriend and one of my friends bullied me because I thought she was cool to start off. Uh, she was fine, and I think her new character is pretty cool. They also make her sister enjoyable again, who was I think she was a villain in the earlier seasons, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Um, yeah, they also show like a new side of Krypton. This whole season pretty much just revolves around Superboy and Superman. Also, a good thing that they have. I love little Jonathan Kent. He's adorable, very cute. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about it because the season came out last night and it was fantastic. And I'm really hoping that they make a season 5 because if they don't, then my entire point about having the Young Justice crew do the DCEU would be ruined because they would have wasted the best DC villain because he's never fought yet, which, whatever. But yeah, no, I just wanted to talk about it because it was really good. The Giving it a rating, I'm gonna give it a solid 85%. It's fantastic, and I love what they did with the season. I love how it ended. I love the final battle. I love how they touch on mental health a little bit more and they explore life of being a teenager and what it's like for people who are trying to figure out who they are and their identity and all that. I think everything that they did with this season was pretty much like rock solid. It is so good. I do not like Forager. I want to see Darkseid fights. Um, I I don't know. I just think that this season was fantastic, and I was very happy with what they did. Even with the new Chaos goddess they added, who they call Child, which I think is awesome. She was sick. She got destroyed, but she's still sick as hell. I just there's so much cool stuff in this season that I don't want to dive into too much without spoiling, but it is awesome. Next season, I think if they do it the same way that they did this season with 13 episodes, then 13 episodes, I'll do a part 1 and a part 2 review. Because I was thinking about reviewing this, I think part 1 came out in February, or ended in February, and it was really good. And now they ended off this with how this went. I just think that this is amazing. But yeah, pretty much all I got. Thanks.